Hey guys, my name is Todd Derry. This is TD's Fat to Fit, your free online strength and conditioning coach in your pocket. We're going to continue the subject of supplements that work. There's 4 specific supplements out there on the market today that will vastly increase your endurance, strength in the gym, and overall well-being. So the 4 supplements we're going to talk about is creatine, nitric oxide, taurine, and my favorite, NMN. Nicotinamide mononucleotide. By far my favorite supplement and the one that I'll probably take for the rest of my life as long as I can get my hands on it. I love these supplements. I take them every day, and the people I coach and assist, I also recommend they take them as well. So hopefully you'll get some benefit out of this. Please like, share, comment below, and definitely subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Let's jump in. So what we're going to cover is the mechanism of action, the beneficial side effects, the negative side effects, if there are any, and then also dosing protocols for each one. We're going to start with creatine. Creatine has been studied and been around for quite a while now. The evidence is clear. It's safe for anybody to take. Creatine is synthesized in the body through arginine, glycine, and methionine. The muscles metabolize creatine and they add a phosphoric acid to it. And that's how it's stored in the muscle as phosphocreatine, the usable form. If you're high in protein, you'll probably consume about 2 grams a day through our typical diet. And then the liver, through biogenesis, creates another half of that. So we get about 3,000 milligrams a day through natural means, either biogenesis in the liver or through our diet. Creatine is basically, think of it as a hybrid fuel. So if you have a car that's an electric car, has a gas motor in it as well, sometimes you'll use electric power and sometimes you'll use the gasoline power. This is that extra burst power when you need it in the gym or for whenever you need extra strength. It is a secondary fuel source outside of the normal glucose and fat metabolism that we typically use on a daily basis. Other things that creatine can do, it's neuroprotective. It assists with memory and learning, reasoning. It's nootropic, so it helps with neurocognition and neurocommunication. Creatine helps activate satellite cells as well. It increases contractile force, endurance, and overall strength. So by increasing contractile force, as you can assume, it's going to help with overall strength and also endurance because you're going to have that other fuel source. It increases anabolic hormone production, such as insulin, testosterone, and estrogen. Increases muscle hydration. It volumizes the muscle. So when you take this, you may feel a little water retention. Specifically, the water is in your muscle, which is where you want it to be. But that also helps with any type of sprains, strains, or tears that are associated with dehydration. This will prevent those types of injuries from happening. Side effects are weight gain, water retention, as I just said, dizziness, nausea, excess sweating, diarrhea, but some of those are basically anything that you're going to consume orally. If you take too much of it, you're going to see those. So it's very well tolerated at around the 3 to 5 gram level a day. And that's typically women, you want to take about 3 grams a day, men around 200 pounds or a little higher, you want to take about 5 grams a day. You want to take it 3 times a day. That's what I would recommend. So you get better metabolism and better absorption. You can take it one bolus, so to speak, but that's your call. If it doesn't bother you, go for it. 5 grams a day is what most studies have said is the sweet spot for creatine. Sometimes I've seen up to 5 or 10 pound increase in body weight after consuming creatine for a couple of weeks. You definitely get stronger, absolutely have a little bit more energy and a little more endurance in the gym. It is a very good product. And now with all the new data stating it's a nootropic and helps with learning and memory, helps with aging processes, it is a great supplement and one that I'll probably take forever because of all of the additional benefits. And there's really no downside. There's no side effects. Next one is nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is created in the body by enzymatic reactions through arginine and citrulline. Basically, those are 2 precursors. Arginine turns into a nitric oxide in the body, and also citrulline turns into arginine and then turns into nitric oxide. So nitric oxide increases blood flow, oxygen, and nutrients to the muscles by an enzymatic reaction, helping open up the endothelial lining of the blood vessels. This is why it's really good for blood pressure. And so it reduces vessel stiffness, or what you've heard of hardening of the arteries. This will counteract that aging process. It makes the vessels more resilient, and more elastic. So you get more blood volume, more oxygen to the muscles, increasing volume, increasing muscle pumps, and increasing endurance because you're getting more oxygen and more sugar, more metabolites. You can work out longer. Initially, nitric oxide, when they first were studying it, was called ERF, endothelial relaxing factor. But then they came up with the proper name once they figured out the chemical compound. But it was initially just this enzyme or this compound that they saw, which was relaxing the blood vessels. It facilitates brain blood flow and intracellular signaling and neurocommunication. So obviously that means it's a neurotransmitter. Nitric oxide acts in the nitroergic enteric neurons active on smooth muscle, abundant in the gastrointestinal tract and erectile tissue. So it improves ED. It reduces inflammation in IBD or Crohn's, colitis, and assists in neuron loss, neuron damage. It will help repair and replace a neuron within the brain. It helps with intracellular signaling and neurocommunication. Obviously, this means it's a neurotransmitter. Increasing endurance, promotes better pumps in the workouts, increasing power, and reducing recovery time. Some side effects, like all that you would see if you overconsume it, stomach ache, nausea, diarrhea, bloating. But there are a couple others in terms of the more cardiac side because it does affect the vessel pressure. So then you could see some heart palpitations. I've seen some reports of tinnitus and some headache issues. All of these have been rectified by lowering the dose or taking smaller doses throughout the day. Typically, you're going to take, similar to creatine, 3 grams to 5 grams a day. Women are around 3 grams, men are around 5 grams. So you want to take 3 doses of that per day. You want to take 1 bolus and you tolerate it well, have a blast, go for it. For me, I take it 3 times a day, like I do creatine. I have seemingly gotten a headache before. I don't know if it was from arginine. I didn't know it was from something else, but it seemed I never get headaches. And it did seem like when I was taking a 5-gram bolus of arginine, nitric oxide, I was getting a subtle headache. So now I titrate it out 3 times a day. So I just take all the powders I consume before every meal or 3 times a day. Next is taurine. Taurine is my second favorite supplement. Taurine is naturally derived from cysteine. Taurine is synthesized by the pancreas. It helps process bile and balance fluids. So that means it helps regulate salts and minerals, which is super important when it comes to inflammation in the body. The number one thing that I think taurine does, it increases endurance by slowing your digestion and your burning of glucose. How does it do that? It increases lipolysis. So when we're in the gym, we typically burn sugar. Almost 99% is sugar. For some reason, taurine upregulates lipolysis during exercise, which dramatically increases endurance. This, in turn, delays the exhaustion period through glucose depletion. Let's say a runner or a cyclist hits a wall at a certain point, and that's why you see all the runners taking the gel packs. Taurine would help you reduce that or almost eliminate it because of its effects of glucose metabolism. Again, exercise time exhaustion was significantly lower when you supplemented with taurine. It increases insulin sensitivity. Glycogen reuptake into the muscle is better. It decreased the amount of glucose absorption in the gut and small bowel, or actually slowed that dramatically. It's an antioxidant. It supports mitochondrial health, inhibits tumor cell growth. It also relaxes the vessel walls, similar to nitric oxide, but through a different pathway. This one, taurine acts on the GABA receptors, relaxing the endothelial lining of the vessels. This is used in Japan as a first line for heart failure. So that gives you an idea as to how powerful this stuff is. If you're on a blood pressure medicine and you start supplementing with taurine, you're probably going to either get off the blood pressure medicine or at least reduce it because it will affect your blood pressure up to 20 points, both systolic and diastolic. It's a neurotransmitter as well. Supports neuron growth. It fights neurotoxins. It protects the optic nerve from a future risk of glaucoma. It improves your immune system, digestion, and has dramatically extended life in many animal trials. Taurine is amazing. Side effects are very little, no reported side effects from taking it. Again, the same thing. If you take too much of anything, you'll see diarrhea, nausea, that sort of thing. stomach upset, but for the most part, it is very well tolerated. Again, it's in the body already. We're just increasing the plasma levels of taurine, and we're seeing these incredible results. This is a little more. You're going to take 4 to 6 grams a day. I take about 6 grams a day. And again, it's a dry powder. It's flavorless. You can't really taste it. And I just take 3 scoops 3 times a day. And for myself, I have absolutely seen an endurance increase while supplementing with taurine. It is immediate. The first day you take it is the first day you'll notice how much more you can do. What have I noticed? I would say another few reps per set, another couple of sets per workout. For the most part, you can just do more exercise and get more done in the same amount of time than you would without taurine. And then add in all of the longevity benefits, the neuroprotective benefits, the better immune system, better blood pressure. All of these things are crazy beneficial just for the average person that doesn't work out. But then add in the benefits of the bodybuilder or the physique athlete or the athlete that just wants to be healthier. Taurine is an absolute must-have in terms of your daily supplement routine. And the last one is NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. By far my favorite supplement. What is NMN? NMN is a precursor to NAD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. NAD is basically the energy currency in the body. So studies have shown that increases in NAD levels trigger shifts that enhance survival and boosting energy production, uprating cellular repair, and reducing age-related inflammation. However, there's a lot more things that NAD does at higher levels. Healthy levels of NAD are correlated with mTOR, which mTOR regulates cell growth, protein synthesis, and cell homeostasis. NAD plummets with age. So that's something that they see across all mammals is as you get older, NAD drops off. Similar like testosterone. As you get older, testosterone drops off. Orally supplementing with NMN increases NAD biosynthesis. What you want to make sure of is you do not take NAD by itself. NAD is not orally bioavailable. If you buy NAD orally, it doesn't work because the stomach breaks it down. The stomach acids will not allow it to cross into the bloodstream and create more NAD. NMN does. So that's why you want to buy NMN to increase NAD in the bloodstream. If you go to an anti-aging clinic, they will give you an IV of NAD, or they'll give you infusion treatment of NAD. But that's fine. You can get NAD directly infused into the bloodstream. But if you would rather do it on a daily basis and have constant concentrations of higher NAD through NMN, that's what I choose to do over the infusion route. This suppresses age-related adipose tissue inflammation, enhances insulin secretion and insulin action. It improves mitochondrial function, improves neuron function in the brain. NMN has been able to suppress age-related weight gain, enhances energy, metabolism, beneficial for addiction, depression, anxiety, physical activity is improved, it improves eye function, heart health, and prevents age-related linked changes in gene expression by improving telomere length. So let's get into telomere length. Telomeres are the protective end caps at the end of your DNA chains. So the end of the DNA strand, there's a little cap. Those caps degrade over time and as you age, and those caps are called telomeres. The stronger, longer your telomeres, the more your DNA has a protective layer from DNA unraveling and gene expression for different ailments as you get older. And so the more your DNA is protected through these telomeres, the more healthy you will be because you get less DNA breakdown. And DNA breakdown and the expression of those broken DNA is the definition of aging or disease. NMN through NAD extends lifespan in mice trials and many different animal trials. They did a mice endurance trial with NMN. And typically, mice can run about a kilometer on one of those wheels. If they supplemented these mice with NMN, it increased endurance in mice over 200%. A lot of them actually stopped recording at 3 kilometers. And normally they could only run a kilometer, and now they've run 3 kilometers, and a lot of them broke the wheel. That's how much this increases energy. So endurance and overall physical performance is just astounding when you take NMN. Endurance and exhaustion through exercise is increased by 30 to 40%. For me, I think it's even more than that. NMN is found in fruits, vegetables such as avocados, broccoli, cabbage, edamame, and cucumbers, but it's really low. It's not enough to really supplement or try to get through your diet. It's just not enough. It's very tolerated, not really any side effects. Again, same thing. If you take too much, you'll probably get some bloating or diarrhea or whatever. But as long as you're taking 5 to 1,500 milligrams a day, I'm around 1,500 milligrams a day. I take 2 pills in the morning and a pill right before the gym, and I'm ready to go. It's not something you feel physically. It's not like a pre-workout. You don't feel energized. You don't feel, it's not a central nervous system stimulant. You don't feel like you're amped up, or something like caffeine or a pre-workout that gets you all jacked up and jittery and anxious. It doesn't work that way. It just gives you more energy so you don't get tired. The way I explain it is NMN is like giving you endless energy. I never yawn. I just don't yawn anymore. And I sleep like a baby now. I also sleep so good when I wake up revived. I wake up very quickly. I used to crawl out of bed and just couldn't wake up. And now with NMN, I wake up quicker. I wake up easier. I sleep so much better. And when I go to the gym, I literally have to remind myself to leave, because I'll do what I need to do. I'm in there doing chest, let's say. I'll do half an hour of cardio, whatever that is, Stairmaster for half an hour, and then I'll do 15, 12, 15, however many sets of that exercise. And normally, without NMN, I would be tired at the end. I'd be struggling to get 1 or 2 more sets, or say, well, could I do another exercise? Nah, I'm burnt out. That is no longer in my vocabulary. I have to tell myself to leave. I'm at the end of my workout and I'm like, okay, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. I guess it's time to go. Go home. I literally have to protect myself and be cognizant of overtraining now, because I have so much energy. I have so much extra capability to work out. I need to tell myself to go home. I've done all my exercises. I've done all my sets. It's time to go. But I'm not leaving because I'm exhausted. Even on leg day, when I've done legs for an hour and a half, done cardio before, I'm like, go home, dude. You're done. It's amazing. NMN doesn't really, in my opinion, doesn't really increase strength per se, but the energy to do the workout just never ends. The stuff is amazing. Again, what are we covering? Creatine, nitric oxide, taurine, and MNN. These 4 compounds will make you stronger, bigger, and give you more energy than you've ever had in your life. If you are not supplementing with these 4 compounds, you should. Add them to your strategy, add them to your routine, and I guarantee you will be happy with the results. The 2 that I would probably say are absolute bare minimum is taurine and NMN. Taurine and nicotinamide mononucleotide have just so many beneficial side effects, so much good data on them that it's hard to pass up. It's hard to say, nah, I'll take creatine or nitric oxide. Taurine helps with aging. Taurine is a nootropic. It helps with blood pressure. It helps with endurance. NMN helps with endurance. It helps with longevity, disease prevention, depression, anxiety. There's just so much good data on this stuff that it'd be tough for me to consider not taking in the future. Hopefully this was worth your time. Like, share, comment below, ask me any questions. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But as always, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. My name is Todd Derry. This is TD's Fat to Fit. I'll talk to you soon.